Good afternoon, gang. It is, still Thursday afternoon. So, yeah, kind of an interesting one here. So, to follow up a little bit on this morning's video, Greg Stroup sent me a link to a Wall Street Journal article that's from back in April, and it got me digging a little bit. And the journal article, I'll link it below, was entitled, "If you sell a house these days, the buyer might be a pension fund." Okay. And the story goes into a home builder building a neighborhood, I guess 124 houses, rented them out, and then put the whole neighborhood up for sale. And inevitably, you had real estate investors that came and bought the whole neighborhood, and now they're the landlord for the whole neighborhood. Okay. Now, nothing wrong with that. I mean, totally legal, everything of the sort. The issue that you get is they're overpaying for this stuff, which is driving the prices of houses up. Okay. And with everybody trying to buy and sell, everything like that, I feel sorry. We were talking the other day about, some of the millennials and Zoomers and whatever, everybody trying to buy houses and they're getting priced out of the market. Well, this is part of it, okay? When you've got investors coming in and basically buying houses and turning them into rental properties, and that's it. So there aren't enough properties, if you will, to buy as permanent residents, get a mortgage and it's your house, not rental house, okay? But this got me digging into a little bit more, how I do things, into exactly what's going on. And what I found scared the crap out of me, okay? Now, if I look at it this way, to give you this, we all know China's buying up land in the United States like crazy. I mentioned the 140,000 acres down by Laughlin Air Force Base. You've got the drug cartels buying up the land along the border in the U.S. Obviously, that is with the help of the Chinese, because, unfortunately, in the United States, we don't have any laws that prohibit a foreign entity from coming in and buying land, buying houses, whatever. Now, I'll give you this. If you live in China, okay, contrary to popular belief, you are allowed to, as a foreigner, to buy property in China. You are allowed to buy one residential piece of property, and you have had to live in China and pay taxes in China for 5 years before you are allowed to purchase piece of property. Okay, and again, one residential piece. Okay, not 140,000 acres to put a wind farm up. Okay, or land across, the southern border so cartels can dig tunnels into your property and nobody knows it, or buy hundreds of thousands of acres of farmland. Okay, can't do that in China as an American, but God knows we let the Americans, or we let the Chinese do it here in America. So this is what I got, okay? Of the 284,000 properties that were sold to foreign buyers last year, 40,400 were sold to Chinese. That's about 15%, okay? To give you the idea, the second most nationality, or whatever you want to call it, the second highest purchaser was the Canadians, okay? They bought 9%. Now, Canada makes a little bit more sense to me, all right? Thinking, I don't know, maybe they want to buy some property in Florida to go on vacation, or maybe they're buying, something in North Dakota, Minnesota, wherever to go fishing. I don't know, pick something, okay? But the Canadians buying it here make a little bit more sense to me than the Chinese, okay? The Chinese aren't, gee, you know what, honey, let's go on vacation this week and fly down to Florida, okay? It's only halfway around the world, and there's, nothing warm waters and beaches anywhere near China, of course, right? I don't know, the entire South Pacific, go figure. But this is something to watch, okay? If you have like I said, companies from this article, that are coming in, and in this article that was sent to me, you had Fundrise. There's a whole bunch of different companies. They're real estate management companies, or real estate investment trust REITs, that'll buy these things. And sure, they buy them for investment reasons. If you've got any REITs in your 401k or in any sort of investment that you have, this is exactly how they work, okay? A company goes in and buys apartment complexes, buys houses, buys strip malls, buys shopping centers, whatever it would be. They package it all together, and you, being an owner of the REIT, are collecting part of the rent, if you will. Okay, so now they're just adding on neighborhoods. And obviously, we need rental homes. Not everybody is in a capacity to buy a house outright. All right, maybe you can't qualify for a mortgage, whatever it is. Maybe you're military, okay, or in a position. Let's say, because I've placed a lot of these people, nuclear engineers, okay, and they go and they're somewhere 2.5, 3 years on a project, and then they finish that one and they move somewhere else. Well, it makes no sense to buy a house in Louisiana if you're only going to be there for 3 years, and then you're going to get moved to 3 Mile Island. I don't know. We'll pick something, wherever you pick a nuclear facility in the country. Because then you've got to sell a house, and it makes it harder to move. So, but you've got a family, so you want to have a house to rent, because 4 or 5 people aren't all going to fit in an apartment, and around some of these places there aren't apartments, or many of them at all. So rental houses make sense. Don't get me wrong, but what scares me here is where you get into what the Chinese have done in Africa. And this is with the naval bases, or the seaports, I guess, if you will. China's really got into loan sharking. And to give you an idea and this is what's going on down in South America too. China comes in and says, hey, we'll help you out. I understand the country's in bad shape right now. We'll loan you a whole bunch of money here. And they get some exorbitant interest rates, okay? And when the country, let's say Venezuela or Peru or Ecuador or any of the other ones down there, can't pay the loan, okay, to China, well, it's not like the mafia and they come break your legs, okay? They go, oh, okay, you know what? We'll take this property instead of you paying back the loan. And this is how China is basically buying property. They're foreclosing on it. You defaulted on a loan. We want collateral. The collateral we're going to take is, like I said, in Africa, we'll take this entire seaport. So that's the same thing that's going on down in South America. Could this be the same thing that is going to be going on in the United States? Now, California would be a perfect example of this. California is as broke gets, okay? And the Democrats can come up and say, well, you know what? We're the 7th largest economy in the world and everything like that. Well, congratulations. Yes, you are, or were, okay? Because as all the companies keep leaving, you get further and further and further and further in debt. All right. And, when you get some of the most ridiculously high taxes in the country, you can expect more people to leave. So what's going to happen? In order to pay Gruesome Newsom's taxes, you're going to have to get money from somewhere. Okay. So what's going to happen? The Chinese are going to come in and say, hey, governor, we'll help bail your state out. All you need to do is sign here. Okay, and he signs here, and it goes, 87% interest or whatever it is. And Newsom says, well, I got to raise taxes, and all the businesses have moved out. So all you have left are the illegals who don't pay taxes anyway. And now Newsom can't pay the taxes. Well, what happens? You know what? We'll take the Port of Los Angeles. We'll take the Port of Long Beach. Give us those instead of paying it back, and we'll be okay. You see where I'm going with this? Now, if the Chinese start getting into all this buying the houses, now all of a sudden, you and me, okay, Joe American here, and I'm not saying white, I'm saying American, okay, now we need to get our housing From the Chinese? Very possible, guys, because they're buying up the land and buying up the housing real quick. And all of a sudden, if your landlord says, you know what, we're going to triple your rent. I'm not paying my triple. No, then move, because because all of us Chinese are going to triple the rent, and you have nowhere to go. Okay, this is kind of how they're trying to take over the country, guys. They're not going to do it militarily. They're going to do it economically. And it's working very well in smaller, poorer countries. And that is generating the revenue and everything they need to come after us. Okay? Put two and two together and you see how all this works. It's already working in Africa. It's already working in South America. They're already working with the cartels. This is all economics. Finance, finance, finance. And they're going to wind up with all the money. We're going to have none of the money. And they're going to go, hey, U.S., let us bail you out. All you have to do is give us Texas. Have a good afternoon. Pinball out.